Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks so much for tuning in today. This is John Osborne with Berkshire Hathaway, bringing you more content. And just wanted to say thank you so much for all the likes, comments, subscribes that you guys gave to me yesterday after our market analysis video. We're going to be bringing you more content. Let us know in the comments what you want to hear about next. And let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So today I want to talk about building your client base quickly. And just to give you a little insight, I've been a real estate agent now for a little over 30 days. I'm currently working with about 5 buyers. One of them is under contract, set to close either this week or next week, and several others are doing showings, and some have put offers in that weren't accepted, etc., etc. So we're going to unpack all of that. But, I wanted to first start out by really just saying that, we got to give ourselves realistic expectations here in terms of being new agents. How long is it really going to take me to build up a client base? If I don't get a client in the first 30 days, if I don't get a client in the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, one half a year, what is your breaking point? You have to set realistic goals for yourself to ensure that you're able to meet those goals. If you're too hard on yourself, which me personally, I'm super hard on myself in terms of my performance. I've always been that way. It's helped me a lot, but it's also hindered me a lot in everything that I do as well. And I think it's very important for us to know our strengths and our weaknesses so that we can work on both of them to become the best versions of ourselves. So when it comes to building a client base, I think really what is key, and I'm sure that a lot of you saw my short reel earlier regarding doing what is right, not what's right for you. And I think that if you do that and if you focus on that as your strategy for building a client base, it's going to go very far with clients. They're going to see that. They're going to realize that you actually have their best interests in mind, and they're going to feel pretty good about referring other people to you when it comes to their trusted circle of friends and family who will also need help further down the line. Let's not think about it in just a single commission check. Let's think beyond that single commission check into the realm of a lifetime client and their entire network that will be linked up to you, and already you will have proven yourself by doing the best that you can for them. Instead of thinking about just that money right then, think beyond that, way into the future, and that will take you very far. And I would say that that has a lot to do with why I'm working with so many buyers. I think it's really setting realistic expectations for them and letting them know the status of the market, doing analysis, looking up MLS every day to find new properties that are coming out, ones that are expired or withdrawn, ones that are going under contract, ones that are pending, etc., etc. The more that you can know about your market, the better off that you're going to be when it comes to conveying yourself to your clients. And I think that when I speak to clients and inform them about all of this relevant information, it really helps them to feel like they're in good hands. And really, it's all about the negotiation too, because, it's one thing to get a buyer. You're going to have lots of buyers. You're going to put in lots of offers, but you don't want it to stop there. When you put in an offer, you have to think beyond the offer. You have to then think about, okay, now that I've gotten them to commit on their side when it comes to wanting to buy a property and feeling like this is the one for them, now it's time for me to commit on my side to work my magic in terms of the negotiation skills. Now, granted, there is only so much that you as an agent can really do. You're not going to win them all. You are going to have offers that don't go through, whether it be for pricing issues, whether it be for appraisal issues, inspection issues. There are lots of hypotheticals that can really prevent things from going as smoothly as we had planned. But at the end of the day, What we can do is we can call up that listing agent. We can find out how many offers are out there, what type of offers there are. There's certain things that a listing agent might be able to tell you. There's also certain things that a listing agent may not be able to tell you based on the contract that they have exclusively with the seller. And typically what I find is that, the listing agent wants to work with you to close a deal just as badly as you want to close a deal for your client if it's a property that they really, really want. And obviously, we don't want to come across as needy or pushy when it comes to a listing agent. That's part of the negotiation tactics, is just doing it in such a way where we are looking after the best interests of our client. And the best interests of our client can vary from client to client. What I mean by that is one client might want the cheapest property ever, so their best interest might be getting the absolute best price. The other client might have a family, might need, certain amenities or certain room sizes, and when they find a specific property that they feel is their quote unquote forever home or dream home, that working on their best interest is going to be making sure that that deal closes. And again, there's only so much you can do. You can't beat yourself up in the event that somebody comes in $50,000 above them and it's outside of their budget and it's all cash, and there's nothing that you can do about that. You can only do so much. They can only do so much. The seller can only do so much. We all have our limitations. So just being realistic and setting up those realistic expectations for a buyer, for a seller, for anybody that you're really working with is going to help you in the long run. Because when you set up those expectations for your buyer in terms of the market, in terms of the things that they really need to have done before they offer and going into an offer to make it smooth in terms of closing. Every situation is going to be different. Maybe it's a mobile home park where you have to have a contingency upon grounds approval. Maybe it's going to be an appraisal contingency. Maybe there's going to be complications with the lender. And if you know those things up front, you can be preemptive with your client to ensure that they are going to have a smooth transition all the way to closing. It's kind of like, risk mitigation when you're thinking about problems and issues that could occur long before they do occur, so that in the event that they do occur, you already have a plan in place. You can go back to your client and say, hey, remember when we had that conversation last week about how this might happen and what we would need to do in the event that it does happen? Well, guess what? It happened, and now we're going to exact that plan just as discussed. And in their eyes, that's going to turn you into more of a professional, because it's going to show that you are a seasoned veteran when it comes to the process of buying and selling real estate, the process of negotiation, and the process of really putting that buyer's best interest at first, in their best interest 100% of the time. It's not about you. It's not about anybody else. It's about them. And I do see a lot of videos out there. There's this sales where they're pushing you into, signing up for some sort of mentorship, and they're teaching you how to sell and how to just push people. And honestly, that doesn't work in real estate. Maybe it does here and there. Maybe you're going to get a sale. Maybe you're going to push somebody over the limit and be the guy that ends up getting them to sign on the line, even though they were reluctant or hesitant to do that. But that's not really going to allow you to develop the proper skills to solve problems and to put their best interests at mind. If you start pushing them into something, you're getting into that section where it's all about about you. It's all about the commission, and it's all about that very moment. And you know what ends up happening when you push them into it? Then you get far enough along. Let's say you get a listing, you go out, you pay your professional photographer, you get everything ready, you get your website in order, you get all the graphic design and marketing prepared, you get signs put out, you do everything on your end thinking that this is going to be a smooth transition. And what ends up happening? Well, if the seller wasn't ready to sell, then they are going to back out. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes the seller decides after you've done all that, you know what? I decided that I'm going to hold off for a year. I decided that I don't want to sell at all. I decided that I'm going to rent instead. And really from there, what do you have? You've already put your own money and investment into selling this property on false grounds, things that they didn't even want in the first place. That was your agenda. That is the reason that some of these expireds, some of these withdrawns end up happening, is because agents are being pushy. And the reason that I became a real estate agent is to overcome this, to set the bar high in terms of what an agent should and should not be. And these are the things that I have found out through research of my own, through dealing with real estate transactions over the years. As an investor, as a buyer, as a seller, I've seen a lot of things, some things that work, some things that don't. I've also been in sales my entire life, and I can tell you right now that people don't want to be sold on real estate. The key to everything is to learn how not to sell. If you can do that, you will be very, very successful with this career. If you spend all your time and your money and your finances paying people to teach you how to sell, you are not going to do well. You may as well be in retail sales or a car salesman or something like that that's going to be tailored to kind of that pushy atmosphere. That is not welcome in real estate. And it's a reason that a lot of agents are having trouble right now because, during coronavirus, a lot of agents were coming new into the field. They were doing exceptionally well. They were having so many buys, so many sells, and it was like so inspiring to them that they were just making a ton of money. And then what happened? Well, coronavirus ended, and now we're in this situation where we're kind of in a housing crunch. There's really low inventory, and there's super high demand. Prices are rising. Some people don't even want to sell because of volatile markets and things of that nature. And what does that do to the pushy salesperson who was really just focusing on number and transaction after transaction after transaction? What does that do to them? It puts them in a very uncomfortable place where their pushiness now is turning into desperation because now they can't easily find people. Now they're having deals that are canceled and they don't understand because what they used to do worked so well. And now they don't have anything. They don't have anything under contract. Maybe they only have a few buyers. Maybe they don't have any listings. They don't have much at all, and they don't understand why. And I'm telling you now that it's because you're trying to sell way too hard. So don't sell. That's the key. If you want to be successful in this career as a real estate agent, just don't sell. Just listen to the needs of the client. Put their needs first. Forget about budget. Forget about I'm only going to help this person if it's $500,000 or above with a house. Forget that mindset of it's not worth your time. Everything is worth your time because you can learn from every single experience. Every single client, that rental client that maybe you didn't want to work with because you felt like it would be a lot of work and maybe it wouldn't work out and you wouldn't make very much money off of it or XYZ, guess what? Those can become your best clients and your best friends. Some of my amazing clients that I have come across have been rental tenants that needed some help with applications and needed some guidance and needed, just somebody to be there for them, maybe when other people weren't there for them. We've all been in that situation where we wanted to rent and maybe we couldn't. People were like treating us like maybe we're not worth the time or the effort, and it was hard to get the help that we felt that we deserved. Put yourself in the shoes of those people. Have some compassion, have some understanding for their individual situation, whatever it might be, and that is where you can truly put their best interests first and gain an excessive amount of clients. So, food for thought. Hopefully this helps some people out there. Not everybody is doing this. There are a lot of people out there that are fantastic agents. I have met some really incredible agents and have worked with incredible agents as well in Denver and in other states that I've come across with my real estate investments. And these are the people that have inspired me to become the best version of myself when it comes to a real estate agent. So we're going to be unpacking a lot of these things. This channel is going to be for new agents. It's going to be for seasoned agents who maybe are in a slump and want to level up their performance or their goals or whatever the case might be. We're going to learn together. And I'm not afraid to admit that I don't know either. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I'm a brand new agent. I'm learning things every single day, asking questions, getting help from my mentors at Berkshire Hathaway who are absolutely fantastic. And I'll tell you now that Berkshire Hathaway has been a true inspiration. I have found a great home there with amazing people who have done nothing but help me from the very beginning. And this is something that you're going to need in your real estate journey, whether you're seasoned, whether you're brand new. You have to have people that you can look up to that are doing better than you in terms of performance, in terms of expectations, in terms of follow-up, in terms of everything that pertains to their business. You want to surround yourself with those individuals who can then help you get taken to the next level, even just being around them, not worrying about, oh, I'm not making any money by assisting them with an open house, or oh, I'm not really making anything by doing XYZ for someone else other than just doing something that they don't want to do. Don't think in that mindset. If you go beyond that and just help people and take care of them, just know that they are going to take care of you. And even if they don't, you're going to gain invaluable experience that even if you had been paid a little bit of money for whatever it was that you were doing, it is going to be less in value than what you learn with that hands-on experience. So guys, I'm going to end this now. I just want to say thank you so much. Definitely give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a follow, share this out with anybody who might need to hear it. We are all here to help each other. We're going to have some guest speakers on here as well in the coming weeks. I've got some people in mind that are in finances and other real estate agents and people who just really get it on a very personal human level that I think a lot of other agents will want to hear from. So, stay tuned for all of that. Make sure to subscribe. All of that will be coming here. We're going to be doing more of our businesses as well. We're going to cover some more local businesses with shorts and do all kinds of really cool stuff on this channel. So without further ado, I'm going to end this, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a wonderful night. And remember, always do your best and put their needs before your own.